Hello everyone, I'm Mann Sharma from NLI Bhopal. I'm currently in my third year and I had secured an All India rank of 44 in CLAT 2018 and All India rank 1 in Maharashtra CT 2018. I was approached by Law Exam today to share my CLAT and AILET preparation strategy during the last week and to take up some of the common questions that aspirants have at this point in time. So I'll try to address all those queries and I hope that it will be of some help to all the aspirants. Before I begin with, I'd just like to say to all the aspirants that I know that it has been a tough year for all of you and you have come a long way. But it is very important to just hang in there for a few more days because this last push, this last sprint is extremely important for your CLAT preparation and this could just give you that edge that is required for you to perform well in the examination. Without further ado, I'd like to start with the questions that usually students have during this point of time. So one of these common questions that students have at this point of time is regarding what should be their revision strategy of each subject during this last week. So with reference to GK and English, in my opinion, much of reading should be avoided now. Rather than that, students should solve more and more MCQs. So usually in the standard books, at the last, there is a repository of questions that is given. So I believe that is something that should be solved. And how we should go about it is that the questions that we are able to solve, we should just tick those questions, and the questions that we are not able to solve, we should mark those questions with a red pen. So next time when we revise after 2 days, we will just take up those questions that we were not able to solve. So firstly, this will help us save time. And secondly, it will give us that psychological edge of solving a threshold of questions. So if we have solved a good 500, 700 or 1000 questions, we will approach the examination more confident and that will help. Regarding legal, I believe that this is one section that students are most comfortable with. At least most of the students are most comfortable with this section. So I don't think there is much to be done in the last week regarding this section. If at best something is just to be done, so a few questions can be solved for this section. Regarding maths and logical reasoning, I believe that the questions that are to be solved should be of easy to moderate difficulty, and 30 to 40 questions of the most important topics should be solved at this point of time. See, at this point of time, it is very important to be in a very good frame of mind. That feel good factor should be around you at this point in time, and there is no point unnecessarily solving extremely difficult questions. So keep it limited. Another common question that students usually ask is that should we give mocks now? So in my opinion, that during last week, students should usually refrain from giving mocks because I believe this is something which can do more harm than good. So the purpose of mocks is now solved. We have given a lot of mocks during the course of the year, and now it can adversely affect our frame of mind if, God forbid, we don't do well in a mock, which is quite possible for everyone. So I would advise that rather than that, that time should be utilized in solving the MCQs. As I said that for your revision, you should solve a number of MCQs of every subject, and that can be done rather than just giving a lot of mocks during this time. Another very common question that students ask at this point of time is to what should be the sequence in which we should approach the paper. So obviously this is something which depends upon person to person, upon their comfort level. But in my opinion, one should ideally start with legal because this is one section that requires a lot of concentration and focus. So during the start of the paper, our concentration and our focus is at the highest level. So we should start with the legal section, after which we should move to GK, after which we should solve English, and maths and logical reasoning should be done at the last. So why I'm saying this is because these two sections require the student to be in a relaxed state of mind. And that will only happen that when we know that we have solved 60-70% of the paper. And secondly, usually students get stuck in some of the questions of logical reasoning and maths. So if that happens at the initial stage of the paper, so that can affect the tempo of the whole paper. So it is always advisable to solve mathematics and logical reasoning at the end. So that is another advice that I'd like to give the students from my end. Other than that, the single most important thing, in my opinion, is that while you approach the examination, your mindset is really important as to how you approach. While one question is front of you in the screen, it is very important that you just think about that question, not about the question you solved before, not about the question you will be solving after that, just about that question. Otherwise, we ignore this, but while we are solving the question, a lot of thought processes going around in our mind, and we don't realize, but we lose a lot of time in that. And at the end, we blame that the question paper was lengthy. So it is very important to keep your focus and your thought process limited to that one question. So this will help you save a lot of time. So I think that's it from my side, and I just like to give one small piece of advice from my end, that I know that a lot of things have not gone the students' way this year, but see, as I believe that we cannot control the uncontrollables. So let's focus on the controllables. Let's not burden our mind by thinking about the things that we cannot control. So keep your focus limited to the paper. Do not think about things like this paper is tough, I could have done better had it not been for this COVID pandemic. See, all these things are now done and dusted, and we cannot do anything about that. So take care of that, and I believe if you follow all these things, it will help you uh, uh, do well in your examination, and I don't see any reason as to why you won't do well in the examination. If there's anything else, which you feel that you want to ask me, I'm always available. You can contact me through social media, and I'll try to leave my contact details in the comment section as well. So if there's anything, well, if you want to talk to me, if you want to call me, I'm always available. So rest assured, I think that if you've worked hard throughout the year, there's no point worrying now. Everything will go your way on the D-Day. So all the best for your examination, and stay safe and stay healthy.